Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos pinpoints your mornings on News 6. Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood now at 5 a.m.
Now on News 6 mornings, a deadly shooting investigators say started with the sale of headphones. A man killed now. How you can protect yourself when it comes to selling items online.
Plus, Osceola County Sheriff cited following the release of a photo showing the body of a murdered 13-year-old girl. What state prosecutors are now asking him to do.
And big developments in results 2024. Vice President Kamala Harris gaining support in her presidential bid. What we are learning about the chances of her getting the Democratic nomination. Well, good morning on your Tuesday. It is 5 a.m. I'm Crystal Moyer.
I'm Bridget Ellison. Trooper Steve's watching your roads, and Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos here with your pinpoint accurate forecast. So we could see some more storms today.
A little more rain in the forecast. 1, an earlier start. 2, a little more widespread. So let's tackle the day. It's Tuesday. We are looking at another hot day on tap as temperatures once again will be heating up back into those mid-90s, although those feels like temperatures once again will be up to about 107 degrees. So listen, at the end of the day, these temperatures are not going to be fluctuating much unless we get something big, some type of tropical system that really cools things down. But in the meantime, though, it is going to be another stretch of really hot weather. Temperatures out the door, though. Right now, we are in those upper 70s, already hitting 80 degrees in Cocoa Beach, 78 in Cape Canaveral. Feels like temperatures throughout the next few hours, once again, will be topping off between 105 and 107. But this is really the big change compared to yesterday. We're going to see a little more of a widespread chance for rain. Coverage for today up to about a 60 to 70%. We'll be pinpointing the timing of this coming up in just a few minutes. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He has got your pinpoint traffic on this Tuesday.
On Tuesday, it is Tuesday, right? My goodness, what a slow Monday yesterday was. 417 nice and clear on the east side. If you're headed out towards the airport, no problems. 528 east and westbound. We're currently crash free. Ramps are looking pretty good with no issues. Quick zoom in to show you DOT cam out here at about the 10-mile marker close to Tradeport. I like showing this because it brings back memories where you used to be able to pull off on the side of the road, watch the planes come in kind of thing. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. When you head west out here towards International, Sand Lake looking good. Kirkman, north and southbound currently clear. Guys, back to you.
All right, Trooper Steve, developing right now, the search for answers continues after a man is shot and killed in what police are calling a senseless tragedy. The 22-year-old gunned down while trying to sell a pair of headphones. This happened Saturday night near West 3rd Street and Pomegranate Avenue in Sanford, about a half a mile south of HCA Hospital. And officers are saying following that shooting, the victim crashed his truck into a pond. Police are now issuing a warning when it comes to meeting strangers to sell or buy items. And News 6's Ezzy Castro is live at the Seminole County Sheriff's Office now, and there's actually a safe zone, Ezzy, that's set up in their parking lot.
That's right. So right here at the Seminole County Sheriff's Office, you can see right behind me that yellow sign right over there that reads safe place. And this is just one of the safe zones located here, one of the many here in Seminole County. So if you want to buy or sell anything to strangers, this would be the place to do it. So the Sanford police chief released a statement saying his detectives are working diligently to locate the 2 suspects in this case, adding that they have no regard for the value of human life. Meantime, they are offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information that can lead to an arrest. So, of course, if you do have any info, make sure to give them a call. Also, we have a list of all the safe zones just like this one. If you want to find out where they are, we have them on clickorlando.com. We're now live in Seminole County. Ezzy Castro, and results, News 6.
Ezzy, thanks. New this morning, Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez is facing up to a $500 fine after being given a civil citation by state prosecutors. The reprimand comes after the sheriff's office admitted to a photo of 13-year-old murder victim Madeline Soto's body accidentally appearing on Lopez's Instagram account. In a civil summons filed last week, the state attorney's office accused the sheriff of publicly disclosing the photo of Soto's body. That is a violation of state law, which states images showing the killing of a minor are confidential and can't be released. However, the sheriff was not accused of intentionally releasing that image. Lopez has not said anything publicly about that citation. However, he did agree to appear at a court hearing in December unless he pays the fine. With students across Central Florida preparing to head back to school, now's a good time to make sure your kids stay safe while heading to and from class. And Florida Highway Patrol says there's been nearly 900 bicycle crashes in Central Florida so far this year. Last year, there were just over 1,600 with 49 total deaths and 1,500 injuries. News 6's Mark Lehman is taking a closer look at what you can do to get results preparing your students. Joining us live, Mark, there are several things to keep in mind here.
Yeah, wearing a bicycle helmet is, of course, one of the biggest things to keep in mind, but there are also other important things that parents should talk with their kids about, like always watching for cars and how to cross at intersections. Lessons like these are so important because we've seen the devastating consequences that can happen when a child is involved in a crash while on their way to school. Now, some other important things to keep in mind are always riding with traffic and making sure you're following the rules of the road and making sure that these helmets are properly fitted. Now, we'll be going more in depth on safety measures when it comes to bicycles on the road coming up in our next report at 5:30. For now, reporting live in Orange County, Mark Lehman, getting results, News 6.
Very important information there. Thanks, Mark. We all need a refresher here. Turning back to weather now with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Anyone maybe heading out for a bike ride today may have to do that early on. Storms are coming in, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to pedal real fast as you start seeing some of the rain starts to come in. You know that feeling, right? You're like, oh gosh, I went too far. Looking here at the water vapor imagery. Good morning, everybody. We're talking about another round of rain. Rain coverage will be increasing. It's also going to be starting up a little earlier this afternoon as we, of course, are seeing upper level moisture coming in from the Gulf. We have our southeast breeze bringing in more tropical moisture. And as of right now, we are picking up plenty of rain on both sides of the peninsula, out over the Atlantic and over the Gulf as well, kind of just a precursor of more of that rain in the forecast. Within the last 7 days, you can see where most of the rain has fallen. Very heavy in parts of Lake, Marion County, areas of far western areas of Seminole and Osceola County, but areas that haven't seen the rain, like Brevard County, they've seen just in the last 7 days there in Rockledge, for instance, less than about a quarter, where areas across the villages, Marion County and in and around Ocala, upwards of about 6 inches so far this week. We'll have more details on where the rain will be falling today, coming up in just a little bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic. I knew about the truck. I didn't know about the personalized bike you have there.
Listen, Candace.
That's impressive, Steve.
Chief,
yes.
Listen, I'm going to start putting Chief on everything here in a second. We don't need that. Listen.
It looks great.
Mark, great live shot, by the way. I don't know where you got that vehicle from, but that's great. 528 looking good out there this morning. Turnpike also nice and clear. Candace saw that and she goes, Steve, really? I go, absolutely. 429 also, as you're headed southbound this morning from about Maitland down towards Ocoee. No issues, but an active construction zone. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. It's 5:11 on your Tuesday. A bizarre scene on board a Southwest Airlines flight under investigation.
What happened over the coast of Florida that has the FAA asking some questions?
But first, a Maitland woman's trip ruined by a hotel fire reaches out to News 6 investigators. Up next, what we did to help her get her money back and the steps you need to take before booking your next getaway.
This portion of the news is sponsored by AutoNation. Get the latest news, weather, entertainment, sports, and more from the News 6 Plus streaming app. Download today.
New this morning, chances are if you've traveled, you've had to have canceled a reservation before, and it can be a frustrating experience trying to get a refund in some cases. So imagine what a Maitland woman went through when a hotel she had a reservation for burned down, and then they refused to give her back her money. She contacted News 6 investigator Eric Sandoval to help her get results.
Also new this morning, federal officials are looking into an incident involving a Southwest Airlines flight over Florida that got dangerously close to the ground. The FAA says the jet flew as low as 150 feet over water, while it was still about 5 miles out from the intended landing spot in Tampa. Now, this happened July 14th on a flight from Columbus, Ohio. Instead of landing in Tampa, the pilot skipped over the airport and instead landed about 200 miles away in Fort Lauderdale. According to a statement from Southwest, passengers were flown to Tampa after a short time on the ground. It comes after 2 other low-altitude incidents involving Southwest flights earlier this year. Well, a South Dakota teen has created a runway-worthy gown completely out of duct tape.
Yeah, the high school senior says it all started when she saw a scholarship contest called Stuck at Prom, which required students to create a dress out of the sticky stuff. She got to work in 160 hours and 80 rolls of duct tape later, created a masterpiece. In case you're wondering, Victoria's dress came in as runner-up in the most runway-worthy contest and received a $1,000 scholarship. Okay, but how much did she spend on the duct tape?
That is impressive. That is very impressive. Talk about, was it upcycle? Upcycle that stuff. It's amazing.
My kids use up all my tape, but nothing looks that great.
Yeah, not at all. All right, let's talk about your weather forecast across the area. That is so true. All right, let's talk about those. More storms around today. Rain coverage goes up to about a 70%. It's still going to be staying on the hot side. As high as today will be the mid-90s. Now, compared to yesterday, we hit 96. It's going to be about 2 degrees cooler. And the main reason for it is because the rain is going to start up a little earlier in the afternoon. Then as we head into your Wednesday, your Thursday, Friday, rain chances are going to back off just a little bit. We'll be down to about a 50%. And when it comes to the tropics, Saharan dust still dominating most of the Atlantic and even the Caribbean. Look at some of the dust still in place across parts of Central Florida. But as we progress throughout your Wednesday, really, Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to have a little bit of a break from the dust. So certainly folks who've been dealing with some of those sensitive, who have more sensitivity to pollution and things like that, will have some improving conditions by Thursday and Friday. But then you can see there's a whole another plume of that dust that will be approaching Central Florida by late this weekend and into early next week. All right, other than the Saharan dust, it's going to be a hot afternoon. Right now, we are out the door in the mid to upper 70s, already hitting 80 degrees right now in Cocoa Beach. But of course, those feels like temperatures once again will be back into the triple digits like they will every afternoon until about November. Rain chances, though, will be increasing a little earlier in the day, which will at least be keeping those feels like temperatures below the heat advisory criteria. So you can see here clouds and rain forecast showing that earlier start to the rain right along 95 by about 2-3 o'clock across our southern zones. We'll be tapping into a little more of that tropical moisture that South Florida dealt with a lot yesterday. And then as we progress into the afternoon by 4 or 5 o'clock, most of that rain and storm coverage will start pushing towards I-4 and towards 75. Models are still holding on to another little blow up of scattered storms in the forecast by about 8-9 o'clock. So some areas, don't be surprised if you have some of those rumbles of thunder, even as you're putting the kids down to bed by about 8:30. And then as we head into your Wednesday, a much drier trend. You can see rain chances much lower. Now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your weather forecast is sponsored by Fairwinds.
So your rain chances do go up to about a 60 to 70% into the evening hours. And then you can see rain chances, especially come Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend, do drop off at about 50%. And as you get results here with your full 7-day forecast, of course, we are going to heat things up a little further as we continue to stay drier. Rain chances down to 50%. But in the meantime, still staying a bit unsettled. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
Everything is nice and settled out here for now, at least. 429 north and southbound, Winter Garden, Ocoee. Good morning to you guys. We're currently crash free. Now there are, I say that's lying to you guys. There are a few crashes out there, but none that you need to even know about. So come up here to Seminole County, nice and clear. I thought this would be active this morning. It's not. So this is good for you guys. If you're getting ready to leave the house, Heathrow, Lake Mary, Sanford, no lane closure this morning westbound. And the Reinhard 417 ramp is currently open. Nice day, right? Brevard, Mims, Titusville, 95 north and southbound from east State Road 50, down to 520, nice and clear. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. Listen up, insiders. Monster Jam is, I got to say it, Monster Jam is roaring back into Central Florida. New 6 is giving you the chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the August 3rd event. Very popular here. All you have to do is sign up for free to be a New 6 insider, then enter as many times as you want each day through July 30th. We'll choose 5 lucky winners. Just head to clickorlando.com/insider to sign up.
Well, the time now, 5:21. A local county considering new steps to warn people about bears.
Yeah, at the bottom of the hour, the ordinance being considered in Seminole County that would require new signs in some neighborhoods.
But first, a new warning when it comes to the development of diabetes in children. Up next, why the risk may be different for boys and girls.
I'm News 6 investigator Lewis Bold, and tomorrow on News 6 Mornings, many have died after being shocked with a law enforcement taser. Rap, rap. Now a company is pushing a less lethal option. Some Central Florida officers are already using it, but our investigation found a drawback. That's tomorrow on News 6 Mornings, beginning at 5 a.m.
No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6 to get you the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
Curious about the weather? Jump into WeatherWise on News 6 Plus. It's your go-to for a deep dive into weather. Sure, I'll catch you up on the current conditions, but we are going way beyond that. I've got the lowdown on those wild weather phenomena. Want more than a local forecast? How about hyperlocal? I'll zoom in and show you those details. I'll break it down, explaining the hows and the whys of the weather. Join me, News 6 meteorologist Jonathan Kagas for WeatherWise, weekdays at 8 a.m. on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com.
A health alert this morning when it comes to children and the likelihood of developing diabetes. It turns out there's a difference when it comes to boys and girls. So a new study out of the UK found that up until the age of 10, the risk of developing type 1 diabetes is the same for boys and girls. But after that, the risk drastically decreased for girls. Researchers found that following age 10, boys saw an increase in autoantibodies, which are immune proteins that attack a person's own tissues or organs.
Now to your money and a warning for parents getting ready to send those kids back to class. Get ready to spend more on back to school supplies. The National Retail Federation is predicting families with children through high school plan to spend an average of just over $847 on school supplies, clothes, and electronics. That's the second highest amount in the survey's history. Now for college students, experts say expect to dish out around $1,300 for the upcoming semester. And while families are focusing on back to school, those retailers are already getting their sites ready for the holiday shopping season. Can you believe it?
Christmas in July, right? That includes the battle for the hottest toys this year. So what might be on your child's wish list? Well, experts say some of those favorites from our childhood are still making a strong comeback, like the Ninja Turtles and Jurassic Park. And another pick is Peanut right here, the playful monkey that actually blinks, walks, swings, and has 100 interactions. And then there's Poe, an AI hit storytelling bear that kids can use with an app to create custom stories. So kind of like this modern Teddy Ruxpin, maybe.
Do kids already know what they want for Christmas? Oh, man. Well, still to come on News 6 Mornings, a local sheriff cited.
At the bottom of the hour, the fine Sheriff Marcos Lopez is facing following the release of a photo showing a 13-year-old murder victim.
Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results.
It's actually sad to lose the life of a pair of headphones.
A young man expecting to sell his headphones is met with gunfire. The search for his killers and the locations designed to make meetups like this more safe.
And News 6 has just learned that a local sheriff is being cited by the state over an accidental Instagram post showing a graphic crime scene.
Thanks for staying with us on your Tuesday. It's 5:30. I'm Bridget Ellison.
And I'm Crystal Moyer. We'll have those stories ahead. Bless you, Candace. But as always, let's start with a check of your pinpoint weather with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. A little sneeze over there.
It's the Saharan dust.
Blame everything on the Saharan dust.
That's the inside joke here in the newsroom. Anytime there's an issue, just blame the Saharan dust. All right, let's talk about your downtown Orlando sky cam. It's a nice start. It's at least dry out there. Our sky cam brought to you by Light Orlando, delivering hope. Temperatures right now, 75 degrees right now. The breeze still out of the south at about 5. But a big shout out to our viewers. Joel Mathis sending us this beautiful shot of the buck moon yesterday when it was really at its prime full point there. We have H. Coombs there over SeaWorld. You can see the moon there. Frogman in Florida, Apopka over Apopka High School too. So just some great photos. I'm going to be mixing in some of the other pins that we've been receiving over the past couple of days. So make sure you send them our way. Our Pinpoint Weather app is the easiest way for you to share those photos. But in the meantime, you'll have plenty of rain and storms to photograph today, as we are going to continue to see more of that deeper moisture pushing into central Florida for today. But you can see more of those yellow shades. That's actually drier air, and it's going to start making its way into central Florida really on Thursday. So you can see rain chances for today elevated at 60 to 70%, but by Thursday they will be dropping off a bit. We'll be pinpointing the timing of today's rain and a look at the tropics and the Saharan dust coming up in a bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
Man, now it's cold in here usually. Now we got some dust. Gotta watch out. Titusville, watch out, guys. Things actually real nice for you as you continue northbound on 95 into Volusia. This brings you right into New Smyrna. Smyrna Beach, just south of Ponce Inlet. No problems out here. State Road 44 east and westbound. If you're headed westbound towards I-4 or the DeLand area, you're not going to run into any slowdowns yet. It's 5:32. Things are looking good. Guys, back to you.
All new this morning, News 6 has uncovered court records showing the sheriff of Osceola County, Marcos Lopez, has been given a citation for posting a photo that showed the remains of Madeline Soto. 13-year-old Madeline was found dead near St. Cloud in March, days after she never showed up to school. The boyfriend of her mother was eventually charged with sexually molesting and killing her. The sheriff's office says a crime scene photo was accidentally posted to the agency's social media page. Now the state attorney's office is officially citing the Sheriff Marcos Lopez, with a non-criminal infraction that carries a fine up to $500. We've asked the sheriff for a comment on this, but have not heard back yet. Also breaking overnight, troopers say a man was hit and killed by a car in Marion County. They say the 71-year-old from Ocklawaha was lying along County Road 25 near Bay Road. Investigators say the driver who hit him took off. If you have information that can help with investigating this, call Florida Highway Patrol. In just hours, Brevard County leaders are meeting to consider extending a sales tax that pays for the cleanup of the Indian River Lagoon. Commissioners could keep the program going through 2036. For the past 8 years, the county's collected hundreds of millions of dollars, but has only spent a fraction of the tax revenue. Commissioner John Tabia told us that he wants to see more projects done before asking voters for more money.
We've only completed about 13% of the total spend, so about $77 million. Now we have a few $100 million in the process, but I think it's premature to go back to the taxpayers, ask for another $500 million, and not get the results of the projects that we currently have underway.
Today's county meeting starts at 9 a.m. We'll keep you updated on clickorlando.com.
Bear sightings are more common in Seminole County than anywhere else in Florida, but wildlife officers say they're getting fewer calls about bear encounters in neighborhoods. They say securing garbage bins has been a big help, but leaders want more people to be aware of the issue. They're proposing new rules that would require developers to put signs at the entrance and exit of new neighborhoods and in parks. Commissioners will need to sign off on the ordinance at a meeting later this morning. The CEO of CrowdStrike, the company responsible for sending out a faulty update that caused a worldwide tech outage, is being called to Congress to explain how this all happened. Airlines are still trying to get things back to normal after the software defect that set off thousands of cancellations and delays. Banks and hospitals were also affected. CrowdStrike has yet to explain in detail what went wrong. A great reminder for parents there. We're back with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos pinpointing another chance for rain today.
Yes, but rain chances right along the immediate coastline will be actually the driest. Rain coverage right along the beaches will be about 40%, and then they increase the further west you go. So if the beach is maybe something that you can do today with the family, still enjoying the last few weeks of summer, the weather should be pretty nice. We're at 78 degrees right now. The breeze out of the south at about 3, and that's that southerly breeze that is going to keep that moderate risk of rip currents in place. So the yellow flags will be flying up and down our beaches this afternoon as highs warm into those low 90s, but feeling like the triple digits. Right now, though, they're in the coastline. We're in the mid to upper 70s, already hitting 80 degrees in Cocoa Beach. A little further inland, same story. It's a warm, muggy start. But if you're not taking them to the beach, maybe you're taking them to summer camp. So here's your summer camp forecast brought to you by Orlando Health. Highs for today will be about 94 degrees. We are going to see kind of an earlier start to the rain for areas inland. We'll be talking about that and who has the best shot for seeing some rain today coming up in just a few minutes. All right, back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Ken. It is 5:41, and Trooper Steve will be back in a minute to answer your traffic safety questions about CBD in driving.
Yeah, wondering if you can get a DUI for having legal supplements in your system. Plus, so many choices of toothpaste, but which one is best for your kids? I'll introduce you to an expert who narrowed down the list of safe options.
Trooper Steve on Patrol is sponsored by Gibson Truck World. We are the king of trucks. Central Florida weather changes constantly. Don't have time to turn on the TV? Grab the Pinpoint Weather app from the App Store. The app is like having a News 6 meteorologist in your pocket. Open it up, boom, there's the radar. Boom, there's the forecast. It has the Futurecast right on it, the same modeling used in the News 6 studio. And if there's a warning, it comes automatically to your phone. Download the free News 6 Pinpoint Weather app now and have our weather team with you whenever you need us.
It's 5:45. That means it is time for Ask Trooper Steve, where we answer the questions that you send in. And today we're talking about CBD and driving.
Yeah, this is interesting. And keep in mind, I copy-paste the questions right in.
Well, in less than a month, voters will head to the polls or mailbox to cast their ballot in the upcoming primary. If you're planning to vote by mail, August 8th is the last day to request a ballot be mailed to you. Local election officials tell us the demand for those ballots is down from 2022. The deadline to register to vote in the primary has passed, but you can still register before the November election.
Parents, are you taking your child's dental health seriously? Think about that question. Dentists agree choosing the right toothpaste and brush for your kids is crucial. In today's Insider, Consumer Reports evaluates popular toothpaste to find the best options for your kids. Well, I have a question for you guys. Can kids use adult toothpaste?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, why not?
Yes, as long as it contains fluoride and doesn't address like any other oral health concerns beyond cavity prevention, like gum disease or teeth whitening. You want to wait till they get older. I posted more options for children's toothpaste and brushes on clickorlando.com/insider.
They always say it's spicy.
It's spicy. That's what the kids say. It's just spicy.
I've never heard that one.
That's also the line you use when you don't want your kids eating your food. It's spicy. You know, the weather's going to be a little spicy today. Temperatures are going to be right back up into those triple-digit heat, guys.
I could tell my dog.
Yeah, tell your dogs, guys, no, it's too spicy. They just have to figure it out, right? But then you're going to be paying for it. As we look here at your tropical outlook, just wanted to show you a quick graphic here. Favorite graphic of the season, our tropical outlook. No new tropical development is expected within the next 2 to 7 days. And that is because we have this, a whole lot of Saharan dust, another big plume already rolling off the coast of Africa. Right now, we're still seeing some of the residual from that first real batch of Saharan dust that we really felt across central Florida since this weekend. But we are going to continue to see the possibility of a little break from that dust starting up right on Wednesday through Thursday and Friday. But you can see that plume that's just coming off the coast of Africa will be getting pretty close to our area by Sunday into Monday of next week. So prepare yourself. We could have another round of that. In the meantime, though, we are looking mostly dry at this hour with some Saharan dust there in place. Temperatures out the door, mid to upper 70s, already hitting 80 degrees in Cocoa Beach, 76 degrees there in the Villages. Let's look at the temperatures for today compared to what we are going to be feeling. You can see we'll be up to about 94 degrees by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but look at those feels like temperatures. We'll be running about 10 degrees hotter when it comes to what it actually feels like outside. So once again, even though there's no heat advisories in place, making sure that you're taking your breaks, you're staying hydrated, doing what you need to do during these summer months. Now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your forecast is sponsored by Publix.
All right, before we hit those mid-90s, we're going to be back into those low 90s as early as lunchtime hour. But then look at the timing of the rain. Coverage will increase after about 3 o'clock and will linger until about sundown with your highest chance for rain up to about 70%. So you can see here we have an earlier start to that rain about 2 o'clock in the afternoon right along the I-4 to I-95 there. We'll continue to track all across our inland zones, then pushing towards 75 a little later in the day. We will see another blow up of some scattered showers and thunderstorms by about 8 and 9 o'clock, primarily across our southern inland zones. We're talking Orange and Osceola County. Could see a few rumbles of thunder late into the night. Tonight, meteorologist Jonathan Kegis will be pinpointing that after about 11 o'clock. And then as we head into Wednesday, you can see rain chances much lower. We'll be down to about a 50%. And as we get results here, their full 7-day forecast, lowering rain chances, but we'll be increasing those temperatures, feeling a little hotter each and every afternoon. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
Thank you, ma'am. Things still looking pretty good out here. 5:51 in the morning. DeLand, no problems. 44 east and westbound. Man, I was coming home from Ocala yesterday. That was a beautiful drive through the Ocala National Forest. Deltona, good morning to you. You guys have a huge operation, Best Foot Forward, taking place out here, protecting pedestrians. So make sure you are cautious. That is your warning. There'll be signs out there as well, plus tickets if you're not paying attention. And then 434 at Douglas, looking good. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. A crime scene photo accidentally posted to social media is now leading to consequences.
Still ahead, the disturbing mistake that prompted investigators to issue a citation to the sheriff. That's next as we check our big stories.
Trooper Steve on Patrol is sponsored by Gibson Truck World. We are the king of trucks. Get the latest news, weather, and more from the new 6 Plus streaming app. Visit the Roku App Store to download the new 6 Plus app today.
It's 5:55. Let's check our big story, starting with breaking news out of Osceola County. Court records show the sheriff is being cited with a civil penalty for accidentally posting a crime scene photo on social media. The photo showed the body of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Sheriff Marcos Lopez has been cited with a non-criminal infraction.
Sanford police are looking for the person or people responsible for shooting and killing 22-year-old Brandon Leo. He was expecting to sell a pair of AirPods at a home when he was ambushed. A reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest.
And with the start of school just weeks away for most students, now's a good time to talk to your kid about bike safety and how to use a crosswalk. More than 1,000 crashes involving pedestrians have been reported so far this year.
And a Maitland woman's trip ruined by a hotel fire reaches out to the News 6 investigators.
Still ahead, what we did to help get her money back and the steps you need to take before booking your next getaway.
And Vice President Kamala Harris officially on the campaign trail. The latest on her path to win her party's presidential nomination. You're watching News 6 Mornings Getting Results. We'll be right back.
People sometimes aren't as sensitive. I trust Channel 6. You're the only news reporter I allowed into our home.